Tonight, a report on Soap Lake hiring a new finance director and Moses Lake firefighters training for ice rescues out on the frozen lake. Let's take a look at what's coming up in weather.
Hi everyone, I'm meteorologist Mike Sines. We're going to still continue with the similar weather pattern making our way into 2016, but there's burn bans in effect. Who can pop fireworks coming up?
I'm Amber Jenks, and we have all this and much more on iFIBER 1 News.
From the iFIBER 1 HD studio here in the heart of the Columbia Basin, this is iFIBER 1 News. Your #1 source for local news, sports headlines, and our very own Weather Center forecast covering the entire Columbia Basin. This is iFIBER 1 News, and it starts now.
Soap Lake's McKay Healthcare and Rehabilitation Center is hoping to begin repaying its debt to the county next year. The hospital's administrator, the district's attorney, and 2 board members met with the Grant County Commissioners to discuss the district's growing debt. The district owed the county $531,000 in July, and the amount grew to about $1.2 million by the morning of December 30th. Treasurer Daryl Pheasant said the amount is raising concerns with the county because if the facility stops operating, the county could only receive $210,000 a year in property tax revenue from the district to repay the debt. Administrator Ralph Allen said the center had more people discharged than they admitted. It reached a low of 19 people staying at the facility. Part of the problem is people weren't aware the facility existed. The center is working on building relationships with hospitals so the people handling the discharges know they can refer patients to McKay. People have the chance to jump into Moses Lake on New Year's for the annual polar bear plunge benefiting Grant County Animal Outreach. Reporter Devin Higgins has the details.
If you want to jump into icy Moses Lake on New Year's Day for a good cause, then Grant County Animal Outreach's annual Polar Bear Plunge is the place to be on Friday. The New Year's Day Polar Bear Plunge is set for noon at Cascade Park in Moses Lake. The fundraiser in recent years attracts more than 100 people willing to jump into the icy water. People can enter a raffle for a gift basket by donating cash, pet food, or items. Proceeds benefit Grant County Animal Outreach. I'm Jeff Chu for iFIBER 1 News.
The city of Soap Lake has a new finance director. Mayor Raymond Gravel recommended to the city council that Karen Hand be hired to fill the position following the announcement of current director Karen Dillon's retirement on December 31st. Council members approved the hire unanimously. According to Auditor Michelle Jader-Lund, Hand worked as a voucher deputy for the Grant County Auditor's Office since February 2008. Council members did not offer any resistance to the recommendation, saying based on Hand's qualifications and experience, she was the best candidate for the position. The city received 3 applications for the position before settling on Hand. Now we take a look at people being sought by law enforcement.
This is Sheriff Tom Jones with the Grant County Sheriff's Office. Each of the people you see here have a warrant for their arrest. If you see any of these people, we ask you do not attempt to detain or apprehend them, but call us at 509-762-1160 or send us an email at crimetips@co.grant.wa.us. If the person is presenting a danger, call 911. With your help, we can bring these people to justice and make our community safer.
We'll be back right after this.
When the cold rolls in, it's time to turn on the heater and cozy up with a book. But turning up the heat can mean higher electric bills. And for some families in tough times, that could mean choosing between a warm meal or a warm house. For decades, people like you have extended a hand to help local families in need pay those winter electric bills. Share the warmth this winter to help keep your neighbor warm by giving a little when you pay your Grant PUD bill.
Hi everyone, this weather segment brought to you by Barry Motors, one great place to buy and service a car. I'm meteorologist Mike Sines with a look at our weather headlines as we make our way into 2016. It's still going to be very chilly. We are also going to see what the current burn bans are, who can actually pop fireworks, and then also we're going to still continue to see that morning fog throughout the morning, a possibility of also ice development. Taking a look at our almanac for us here in Ephrata, we can see nothing in the way of precip, 3 degrees, and in Moses Lake, they were also at 3 degrees, nothing in the way of precip. Check out the record low for them, though, set back in 1968 of 13 degrees. That means the temperature actually would have had to been 11 degrees lower, 21 degrees lower, rather, to reach the record or to make a record. Because it's 13, that means the temperature would have been at negative 14 if it was 21 degrees lower, but this morning they were at 3 degrees, so that's okay right in there. Taking a look at our temperatures right now, though, we're at 8 degrees. Dew point is also at 8, and this is where we get the development of fog. When the dew point and the temperature reach the same level, that's where we get the development of fog. Because the temperature is so cold, that also means the small formation of ice. Be careful out there on the roadways. Taking a look at our current burn bans in effect. As you can see, Yakima is in a residential ban. That's the area shaded in red. That means if you live in a residential area, you should not be popping or doing any type of burning. However, it is okay to still do it outdoor, just not in a residential area. All of the areas shaded in yellow, though, this means this is a outdoor ban, meaning you cannot burn, period. That's all of this area here shaded in yellow. That includes Tri-Cities. However, Yakima is not included in this. We are in the county just south of that. So Ephrata, rather, as I just said Yakima, Ephrata is not included in that warning. So we're still okay to pop fireworks. If you live here at Ephrata, we're going to have a great time. As we take a look also at our changing weather pattern, continuing to change, but not really much. We're going to continue to stay very, very stable. And as we make our way into the new year, Happy New Year, everyone. It's going to be a great one. Same temperature, same kind of general weather pattern as we see. Taking a look at our temperatures into Yakima, 26, mostly sunny all across the region. Making our way into Ephrata, 17 degrees. As we make our way into Moses Lake, 18 for the high tomorrow. It's going to be very chilly as we make our way into the new year. Look out Saturday, negative 1 degrees for the low. And as we see, next chance of actual precipitation comes into the forecast Thursday with 40%. Periods of ice and fog can still develop. Wishing everyone a very happy new year. Sports is coming up.
To save some energy, I've used Einstein's mass energy equivalents to design the haptic suits you see in front of you. They will maintain our core body temperature while we completely turn off our heat and air conditioning. With the money we save on our Grant PD bill, I'll be expecting that trip to Disneyland this year.
You don't need to be a super genius to save energy and money. Visit grantpud.org to learn how.
The new flamethrower cheeseburger now with a $5 lunch. I'm going flamethrower today.
Remember what happened last time?
I'm going flamethrower today.
Gary, do you remember what happened last time?
I'm going flamethrower today.
Remember what happened last time?
Comes with a Sunday now. I can handle it.
You know your body, Gary.
Go flamethrower. Now the DQ $5 lunch comes with the new jalapeno bacon flamethrower cheeseburger, plus fries, drink, and a sundae. This is fan food, not fast food.
Big Bend will tip it off one last time for the Ryan Flock Memorial Games on Saturday. The annual Alumni Games have been so named for the past 14 years in honor of Ryan, his brother Drew, who along with their grandfather and cousin were killed in a fishing accident. Ryan was a member of the Running Vikes and Drew was attending Big Bend on an academic scholarship at the time. This is the last time the Ryan Flock Memorial Alumni Games will be played, but the memory of the Flock brothers will live on. In 2012, Reed Jackson from Moses Lake dedicated his Eagle project to the Flock brothers, the basalt column at the entrance to the Big Bend campus. The Lady Vikings will kick off the games at 2 p.m. The Running Vikes match up with the alumni team at 4. Well, Moses Lake put a hurting on Kamiakin on the Chiefs' home court Tuesday.
Jamie Loetta returning to the court for the first time since going through concussion protocol.
led the Chiefs' attack with 24 points. Gonzaga-bound Jessie Loretta knocked down 14, Abby Rathbun hit for 12, and Maggie Strom added 11 points off the bench. Moses Lake had little resistance from the Braves, who made the trek up from Kennewick, leading 19-9 at the end of the first quarter. Strom knocked down 3 trays in the first 4 minutes of the second quarter, and the Chiefs took a 46-10 lead into the locker room at the break. Moses Lake continued to play shutdown defense with Jamie and company, holding Kamaikan's leading scorer, Omi Tori, to just 2 points in the contest. Moses Lake moves to 10-0 with the non-league win. The Chiefs are 3-0 in Big 9 league play. The Cougar and Husky football teams closed out their season with bowl wins. Here's a look back at how they did it.
With the snow, I mean, this is bordering on blizzard. Now,
Miami gets the ball to start the second half.
Falk, time to throw once more. Marks got it in the end zone. Touchdown. Gabe Marks from Luke Falk.
Yeah, we talked about Luke Falk's earlier reverse. So you see what James Coley is pulling out the stops.
Walton straight ahead, touchdown.
The points right there. They've had a
Miami looking for their first bowl win since 2006, so they pull out the trick, and it does not work out. Picked off the pass from Yerby. Luani has it, and Shalom Luani gets a block on the outside, rolling across the 50. So the trick play toss from Yerby ends up in an interception. There are flags down.
Bath.
Oh, does he look happy about that? Oh. Yikes. Get a hot shower, Coach Leach.
Falk completed 29 of 53 passes for 295 yards and was named MVP of the game. It was the Cougars' first postseason win since the 2003 Holiday Bowl. Miles Gaskin rushed for 181 yards and 4 touchdowns as Washington took care of business in the Heart of Dallas Bowl.
Fake to Cooper, and they give it to Mickens on the sweep. And they get him involved on the ground. Mickens, J-Dot Mickens for a touchdown. Here in Dallas. Great one, though, for you right now. 1st and 10 for Washington, and it's Gaskin. Miles Gaskin breaking free. Look at the daylight he has down the sideline. Miles Gaskin. Can he go all the way? He will. Touchdown. You see the red zone. 2 touchdowns in the 4 possessions. Gaskin looking to add to it, and he will. He's in for the touchdown. His 4th of the ball game. A career best. The 2015 Zaxby's Heart of Dallas Bowl winners here today.
The UW ends the season on a positive note with a 7-6 record. The future looks bright for the Dogs and Cougs, with key starters returning to both teams. We'll be back after this commercial break.
You don't have to drive to Seattle for exceptional cancer care. Confluence Health's cancer program delivers world-class care close to home. We have a highly experienced oncology team in a state-of-the-art facility, and we're a member of the Seattle Cancer Care Alliance, which gives our patients access to world-renowned therapies developed at Fred Hutchinson, the University of Washington Medicine, and Seattle Children's. Together with the SCCA, we're delivering world-class cancer care close to home.
Well, one thing I knew from being a patient myself was that a dental office is a scary place to come to. And so we wanted everything possible to make sure that our office is a comfortable place for our patients to visit. The patients that I have, my clients, have made me a part of this community, and we want to give back in every way possible.
Our spotlight story tonight is part 2 of our 2015 year in review, highlighting some of the top news stories in Grant County in the past year. Reporter Jeff Chu has the story.
The iFIBER 1 News 2015 year in review continues with the second half of a busy year in our newsroom. Here are some of the past year's top stories from July to December. From Moses Lake to Quincy to Vantage, it was a long, hot, smoky summer in Grant County as windswept wildfires left little more than sand in their wake. During the first week of July, people were evacuated from their Monument Hill area homes near Quincy, where a wildfire fanned flames overnight. The big blaze burned about 2,100 acres and destroyed 5 structures. No homes were damaged. Grant County Fire District 3 Chief Don Fortier said the fire line surrounded about 95% of the fire after it broke out July 2nd. Fortier said structure protection became a priority as the wind pushed the fire east along Road 13 Northwest. Fortier said the fire started along a road on top of Monument Hill. Firefighters from Grant, Chelan, and Douglas counties initially responded and immediate evacuations were ordered. Fortier said the dryness level in the area was comparable to the usual conditions of mid-August. Winds eventually diminished, allowing firefighters to control the blaze. Wanted fugitive David Santos was never found after a July 3rd manhunt near Royal City. Santos, a 35-year-old Royal City man, was wanted for allegedly shooting at police on June 3rd near Royal City. Police said he again shot at police on July 3rd in an apple orchard near Royal City, where he attempted to use a live grenade. Moses Lake and Othello police officers shot at Santos. He faced charges of 2 counts of assault in the first degree, 2 counts of attempting to elude police officers, and possession of a prohibited explosive device. Investigators seized 3 vehicles associated with Santos, including a 2000 Dodge Durango allegedly used to flee from police. In August, Grant County Superior Court Judge Evan Spurline ended a more than 30-year career on the bench. Spurline was the longest tenured judge serving in the Washington court system. He served with the State Superior Court Judge Association, worked on the Supreme Court Pattern Jury Instructions Committee, the state's Board of Administration, and as presiding judge of the Grant County Superior Court during his career. At a going-away party in his honor, Spurline thanked all county departments and court staff, the county commissioners, and jurors that served during his tenure. In October, a Moses Lake-bound Mitsubishi MRJ jetliner was flown for the first time in Japan, while Port of Moses Lake officials watched in Moses Lake via live online video feed. The first privately owned hangar built since the 1950s was erected in 2015 at Grant County International Airport to house the smaller MRJ jetliners. At the hangar, airport-based company Aerotech will test the jets for Mitsubishi. Port of Moses Lake officials recently announced the estimated timetable for the jets to arrive was pushed back to fall 2016. The Mitsubishi regional jet has been undergoing testing in Japan since October and made its maiden flight on November 11th. The Wanapum tribe celebrated its new Heritage Center, opening it October 15th. The center is on State Route 243 near Priest Rapids Dam, south of Vantage. Located on ancestral land belonging to the Wanapum tribe, the 50,000 square foot facility features artifacts, exhibits, and artwork illustrating the culture and history of the Wanapum people. The Wanapum Heritage Center is owned by the Grant PUD and operated by the Wanapum people. The center is open to the public from 8:30 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. Monday through Friday. On weekends, it's open from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. Admission is free for all ages. A jury in November found Moses Lake's Anthony Vasquez guilty of killing Juan J. Garcia in Moses Lake. A Grant County Superior Court jury rendered a verdict after roughly 4 hours of deliberation. 25-year-old Vasquez was convicted of first-degree murder, second-degree murder, unlawful possession of a firearm, 3 counts of drive-by shooting, and tampering with a witness. Vasquez shot 22-year-old Garcia in the head with a shotgun while Garcia was sitting in an SUV outside of the airport grocery mart on Patton Boulevard. A woman and a child were in the vehicle at the time of the murder. People can learn about the power of the Columbia River at the new Education Center at Wanapum Dam. Grant County PUD's Visitors Center celebrated its grand opening on December 1st. The 2,000 square foot facility is adjacent to the Wanapum Dam on State Route 243, about 7 miles south of the Vantage Bridge. A ribbon-cutting ceremony opened the Power of the Columbia River Center, which highlights the PUD's involvement in power, fish passage, recreation, and natural resource management. The Visitor Center is open from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. Mondays through Friday. Admission is free. The center is a component of the Grant PUD's federal license requirements to provide educational opportunities.
We'll be right back after this.
We are real students, and this really is our college.
My dream will change the outcome of my life.
My college is allowing me to achieve my dream.
My dream is to be a pilot.
My dream is to be a nurse.
Only you can determine your dream. Big Bend will help you get there.
What's your dream?
Experience speed like never before when you connect to Grant PUD's high-speed network. Visit grantpud.org to learn more.
Welcome back. A man pleaded not guilty to a charge of assaulting a firefighter at the scene of a three-vehicle collision. Omar Herrera, a 20-year-old Soap Lake resident, is facing charges in Grant County Superior Court of malicious mischief in the first degree and assault in the third degree. The charges stem from a confrontation between Herrera and a firefighter from the Ephrata Fire Department. On December 20th, 3 cars collided on State Route 28, causing 10 people to be injured. 6 of the injured people were children riding in a 1997 Chrysler LHS sedan. A police officer and firefighters claim Herrera tried to go to the vehicle responsible for the collision while angry and ignoring Captain Henry Severin's orders. The two struggled, and Herrera is accused of assaulting the firefighter during the struggle. Ephrata police officer Gabriel Garcia claims Herrera later resisted arrest and broke a patrol car window. Herrera made a public statement claiming the firefighter assaulted him and fell in the snow along the highway, and that he was trying to help his girlfriend, who reportedly has sisters injured in the collision. Moses Lake firefighters are urging people to stay off the frozen lake, but like every year, firefighters are training for ice rescues. Reporter Joe Utter has the details.
Moses Lake firefighters have one piece of advice for people wanting to venture out on the ice of Moses Lake. Don't do it. But the fire department also knows people are out there every year, whether it's ice fishing, ice skating, or just walking on the ice. That's why firefighters and paramedics were out at Cascade Park on Wednesday, training for an ice rescue situation and practicing several different scenarios. While it's been well below freezing outside the past week, and there's no law saying people can't be on the ice, there are many areas that have only recently frozen and are not thick enough to walk on. Firefighters ask if people are going to venture out, that they be prepared, wear a life jacket, carry ice awls in case you do fall in, and make sure to tell someone where you're going. The recommended minimum ice thickness for walking on the ice is 4 inches. Anyone who witnesses someone in distress on the ice are asked to call 911. There have been several close calls in the past few years where people have fallen through the ice and needed to be rescued. Moses Lake firefighters have the necessary rescue equipment and training to safely go out on the ice. People can also call the fire department if they see an animal out on the ice. Firefighters urge people to not try to rescue the animal and put themselves in danger. This is Joe Utter for iFIBER 1 News.
In Northwest News, a couple in Seattle had their car stolen this week with their beloved dog inside. But as Nick McKirk reports, they figured out how to bring the pup back home.
It's mean. It's just plain mean to do this to people.
Laura Corbett and John Crutch are holding their dog Gus close tonight after this thief in red stole their idling car earlier today in West Seattle with Gus inside.
It was pretty horrible.
Video from the home shows the man in the red hoodie steal the Infiniti around 11 a.m. this morning. John says he had gone in to look at a friend's porch to check for packages since they were out of town.
It clearly shows him just walking by, and he's maybe going to walk past the car, but he does a double take, and he takes a couple good looks at it, and then the car's moving.
John says he'd been out of the car for about 30 seconds, and that's how long it took for their dog and car to roll away.
That was our biggest concern, if we can just get him back.
That's when they turned to the internet and social media for help. They posted Gus's photo online and quickly started to see a response. Call after call came in, reporting sightings of their dog.
Exhausted, He's just tired. He was running for 5 hours in the rain.
At some point, John and Laura think the thief dropped Gus off, and finally, thanks to those phone calls, John located the dog.
It's just a weird thing to do, to go walking down a little residential street, see a car running with a yapping dog, and he's barking his brains off in the car, and just decide to get in and take off.
That's going to do it here for us at iFIBER 1 News. We want to thank you for watching, and we'll see you again on Monday.